Hola Unconventionals, I'm Amelia.
And I'm JP.
And we're sharing our unconventional life with you from Ecuador.
And most of you already know that we left Cuenca back in February and moved to the rural beach town of Olón, Ecuador, mainly because I couldn't handle the 8,400 foot elevation in Cuenca.
Yeah, and I was over the cold and cloudy weather.
Yep, so today we're going to take a walk down memory lane and answer a question that we often get, which is...
Is Cuenca still the best place to start your expat life abroad in Ecuador?
This isn't the video that we referenced in our last video. We're going to save that one for a while. We'll upload it at some point in the future.
Yes, we will. But before we dive into this video, if you're new to our channel or you're thinking of visiting or moving to Ecuador, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell please, because we show you what it's really like to live in Ecuador.
We also wanted to let you know that we shared our article over on Live Abroad Now. It's all about pet care, pet food, and pet sitting in Ecuador. So if you're planning on moving to Ecuador with your fur babies, this article should alleviate some of your concerns about that and reduce some of the mystery. I'll put a link to that in the description below so you can go check that out.
Sounds good. All right, JP, let's get started.
Okay, Amelia, what do you think? Is Cuenca still the best place to start your expat life abroad in Ecuador?
Well, I think it is, but perhaps we should go through some of the pros and cons.
I think the biggest pro for me is that Cuenca is a modern, developed city, but it still has that old world charm.
Yeah, Cuenca is so beautiful. I love the architecture. It's very diverse, including those incredible blue domes from the new cathedral. Wow.
And I love San Sebas Plaza with its fountains and its Spanish colonial architecture. Cuenca is just an amazingly beautiful city, and every
really
corner
is.
you round, there is a new photo opportunity.
Yeah, it's amazing. We loved it. Every time we walked around, we could walk on the same street, but we would see something different every time. We could go on and on about this topic, but we won't.
Yeah. Otherwise, this video will be like an hour long.
Yes, and you guys will get really bored.
I think the next pro for me is that Cuenca has an airport, something that we sorely lack here on the coast.
Yes, we do. It takes 2.5 to 3 hours to get to the Guayaquil airport, but in Cuenca you could be at the airport in a matter of minutes and then hop on a flight to Quito, so it's super convenient.
Yeah, and the flight to Quito is only 45 minutes, so you can be in Quito in less time than it takes us to get to Salinas.
One of the most important things to me about Cuenca is the fact that you don't need a car. We love the fact that it's a walkable city, and we walked all over Cuenca, and I miss our walks. I really do. We walk here on the beach all the time, but it's not the same.
Yeah. In Cuenca, the buses cost 31 cents and they go all over the city. You can go anywhere on a bus. The Tranvia runs kind of from the airport to the Don Bosco neighborhood, kind of straight through the middle of the city, and it's kind of been up and running on and off. So it's, when it is running, it's nice. We haven't been on it yet.
We haven't been on it yet. When we go back to Cuenca, I hope we get to ride it.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Cab rides are also extremely affordable. We usually got to most places for less than $3, usually $2 to $3. The minimum cab fare in Cuenca is only $1.50, and that will get you a lot of places just for that.
Well, also, Cuenca is super bicycle friendly, and they have all those bike rentals there.
And bike lanes all over the city.
Yep. You definitely do not need a car.
Cuenca also has the largest proportion of English-speaking Ecuadorians in Ecuador. Most of the people under 30 speak English, or at least are learning English, so it's really easy to start your life abroad in Cuenca because you don't have to land knowing Spanish like a lot of the other places in Ecuador. Where we live now, most people don't speak English, so it's a bit more difficult to navigate your way around.
Yeah, but the good thing is, another pro, there's a lot of different Spanish schools, whether you want to attend a class or take a virtual class or a private lesson. There's a wide variety, and there's a lot of language exchanges, so you could practice your English and Spanish skills in a group setting. I guess by Zoom now, though.
Yeah, Amelia still takes classes with Christina from Spanish, walking Spanish lessons in Cuenca. We were featured in a commercial for her classes. That was fun to film. And she took us around Cuenca several times and taught us Spanish by explaining different things that we saw on our walks.
Yeah, now we do our classes on Zoom, and I love it. We're still doing a lot of the cultural parts of Ecuador. It's been a really great experience.
There are also lots of expats in Cuenca, probably the most expats of any single city in Ecuador. And we used to host our unconventional gatherings in Cuenca. Those were a lot of fun. We had lots and lots of expats show up to those. And it is nice to have other English-speaking people to socialize with.
Right, and the people who are going through the same journey, it's a nice supportive environment, especially when you're just getting settled. There's a lot of nice, affordable, and modern housing options in Cuenca, and we were very impressed. We loved our house in El Burjel. It was actually more than we needed, but it was beautiful, fully furnished, with a nice kitchen and a fantastic bathroom, and we loved our courtyard. We also had friends that had incredible condos with great views and all the modern amenities, except for dishwashers.
Yeah, those are not common. Although some of the newer condos in El Centro that they had recently built did have dishwashers, and we did have dishwasher envy.
Yes, we did, and we still do. There's some places here on the coast that have dishwashers too.
But not us. We have a spot.
these.
We have a spot in the counter for a dishwasher, but there's no dishwasher.
But despite not having a dishwasher, the housing is still incredible.
Another pro about Cuenca, if you have pets, is that there are excellent pet care options. And I'll put a link to a video that we recorded at the Cuenca Animal Clinic right there above Amelia's head. And that kind of gives you an idea. There are a lot of vets. Most neighborhoods have vets in Cuenca. There are just a lot of options to get your pets taken care of.
Yes, including Maxie's Pet Care too. So they have even doggy spas and doggy daycares available.
Yeah, we love Maxie's Pet Care. And Jessica. Hola,
Yes.
Jessica.
Hola, Jessica.
All the contact info for the Cuenca Animal Clinic and Maxie's Pet Care is over there on Live Abroad Now.
There's so many fun and entertaining things to do in Cuenca. One of my absolute favorite things to do is to visit Puma Pungo. I absolutely love going to that museum inside and out. I highly, highly, highly recommend. You can take a city bus tour, go for a nice walk along the river, walk up to Turi, which that would probably kill us now.
Yeah, that especially at that elevation.
There's museums, there's a symphony, the dining situation is incredible, you name it. There's lots of fun different groups that you could join. Artwork, crafting, I could go on and on. As JP says, I could do my list.
Yeah, but one thing she forgot was the hot springs.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. How could I
Novaqua,
forget those?
Piedra de Agua, and a couple others in Baños, which is just about a 20-minute cab ride from El Centro in Cuenca. And we used to go up there at least a couple times a month and just relax in an afternoon.
Well, and you can also do lots of tours and go hiking in the Cajas. There is a ton to do.
That brings us to our next pro, which is all the amazing day trips that you can take from Cuenca. There are so many places that you can visit just on a long day and see the sights in around Cuenca.
Can I list?
Yeah, start the list, Amelia.
El Cajas National Park,
And the llamas.
the waterfalls at Giron, the Biblion Church, which is built into the side of a hill. It is amazing. You can go mountain climbing in Azogues,
At Cojitambo. That's the mountain name.
visit Cañar, go check out Inca Pirca, go to Chordeleg and San Bartolome, and I'm sure there's even more that we did not list.
Yeah, the list goes on and on. There's so many things like the textile market and the orchid farm at Waliseo.
Oh yeah, good one, JP.
Yeah, there's just so many things that you can do just in the span of a day. You get up, leave in the morning, go see stuff, and you're back by dinner time. It's so incredible. One thing that was really important to us when we left the United States and moved to Ecuador was healthcare. And we were really impressed with the quality of healthcare, the facilities, and the doctors in Cuenca, especially our favorite dentist, Doctora Grace. Hola.
Hola.
Hola, Doctora Grace.
So yeah, Dr. Grace is amazing. I've never met anybody that was so enthusiastic to clean someone's teeth before. She is truly dedicated to her work.
We have several doctor referrals in our Scrolodex over on Live Abroad Now, which I will link in the description so you can go check that out.
If you've been watching our channel for a while, you know we really like to eat. We really love to eat out, and Cuenca has a wide variety of delicious restaurants and a wide variety of cuisines.
Yeah, like Paradise, our favorite Indian restaurant outside of Alone.
Yes.
Our friends Chino and Abin started that restaurant, and we have a video showing that. I'll put a link right up there if you want to see how that restaurant got started. We also love Cafe Libre. It actually moved recently. Paul moved it to a location that's really close to where we used to live. We could have walked there so easily had we still lived in that house in Cuenca. We also love Zatua Miski. Paola makes some of the best chocolates and
Oh my
and
gosh.
candies and waffles and bowl. Oh my God, I could go on. She makes some of the best food. We just love her stuff. I think they may have moved too.
I think a lot of people have moved recently. Paradise has not though.
Nope, it's still in the same spot.
There's everything. You know, Italian.
Oh, Fabiano's.
Fabiano's,
Oh, it's one
lots of pizza.
Fabiano's is one of our favorite Italian places anywhere, not
Yep.
just in Ecuador. They have some of the best Italian food that you'll ever taste, and it's there's several locations in Cuenca.
Yeah, there's a really good Vietnamese restaurant. There's German food, all types of cuisine,
And American food too.
and American food.
if you like
definitely.
that.
Ecuadorian food.
We eat all kinds of food, but rarely American.
That is true. There's also incredible coffee shops in Cuenca. I feel like that goes without saying, but I don't think it does. I think it must be said.
Yeah, because coffee shops are not that common in Ecuador, surprisingly, because they grow amazing coffee here.
Yes.
But they're actually becoming more popular. We have a good coffee shop here in Alone. There's one in Salinas, but Cuenca has them all over town.
Yes, yeah, like Goza and Nukiyakta. There's this really,
Ya.
oh yeah. There's a lot of great little coffee shops.
Cuenca also has a lot of really nice modern grocery stores, just like you would see in the States, like a King Supers or
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Yeah, and there's a new Supermaxi in El Barrel. Well, it's an old one, but they renovated it, and we've heard amazing things. It's, I guess, like a Whole Foods now. We can't wait to go tour that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some serious grocery store envy.
Yeah. But the mercados in Cuenca are amazing. That's something that we also really miss. We have what I call our little mercaditos here. They're little tienda mercados in Olón, but we don't have a real big mercado. The closest one is in La Libertad, which is over an hour south of here. And we really miss being able to walk to several of the large mercados in Cuenca.
Cuenca also has a wide variety of specialty organic food shops, holistic shops, and just organic products. So whether you want chia seeds or organic soap.
CBD oil.
Right.
One of our favorite places is Semilla. They have all kinds of really cool stuff, including like shampoos and stuff. Tienda Nectar is another one. They've moved recently, and we haven't been to their new location yet. Delicioso, which sells tea in bulk, but you can also buy a cup of tea there. We love that place. They also moved since we filmed the video there. They're down by the Tomebamba River, kind of next to, what's that, Inca? The Inca Lounge.
Oh, okay. Geez, JP, I feel like so many places have moved. We're going to be doing a lot of walking
I
when we
know.
go back to Cuenca, which is a good thing.
I know, we have to get back there so we can film all the new
I
locations.
know. There are also a lot of people in Cuenca that are able to help you get your visa. A lot of different visa agents and just lawyers in general. We did an interview with Maite over at Gringo Visas about temporary residency visas, and JP will put a link to that above my head
Yeah.
if you want to check that out.
Yeah, and Gringo Visas is one of them. There's several visa agents. It's just really nice to be able to get all of that taken care of without having to travel. Where we live now, we have to drive quite a way, several hours, to do any sort of visa process.
Right.
So it was really nice being in Cuenca to be able to get most of it done right there. All right, Amelia, now let's talk about the cons. Now that we've had our love fest and why we miss Cuenca, what makes
know.
what makes it such a great place to start your expat life abroad in Ecuador. Now let's talk about why we left again.
I know, I'm like, why did we leave?
Yeah.
Oh wait, the beach is here.
Yeah, the beach is here, but mainly it's the elevation.
Yes.
We moved from Denver at 5,200 feet to Cuenca at 8,400 feet, and it was getting worse. The elevation sickness, altitude sickness was getting worse, not better, and I was pretty miserable there. My back hurt all the time. That may have been because of the elevation or the cool weather. But since we've lived here, my back feels great, and I don't have the altitude sickness, which I do not miss.
No, I know. I'm really glad about that. And it's interesting because we just had some friends visit us from Cuenca, and they commented about how you're not red like
Yeah,
you used to be.
I used to just be flushed all the time, and that's just from the altitude. It just made me, I was always lightheaded and short of breath, and it doesn't affect everyone. In fact, it doesn't affect most people, but it did me, and it does my mom, and apparently it runs in the family.
Bummer.
Yeah, so that's a big one, and also the cool cloudy weather that we
Yes.
mentioned before. When we left Cuenca, we had not seen the sun in a year. I mean, other than just a few times peeking out from the clouds.
Yeah, it was rough.
We had an unusually cloudy year, and there just wasn't any sun, and we were just tired of it. It was like being in Seattle for an entire year, and we were just done with it, and Amelia just couldn't handle it.
Well, and I was cold a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird because I would actually feel warmer at night, I think because it was windy during the day, but we had to run our heater a lot, and I was over it, like I said earlier. Now, it is cloudy here quite a bit as well, but it's just not cold.
Yeah.
It's not the same type of cold. I'm wearing shorts right now.
Yeah. Another con is that everyone speaks English, which is also a pro.
Yes.
We mentioned that as a pro, but we want to actually become fluent in Spanish. And it was so easy for us to speak English in Cuenca that we weren't really learning the language as quickly as we wanted to. Our Spanish has just exploded since we moved to the coast because we're just forced to speak it so much more often.
Yeah, I feel like had we been able to really do an immersion program in Cuenca, that is available, that we would have been better off, but that was not the case for us.
Yeah, we work full time, so we couldn't really take off several weeks or a month to go to classes all day long. But if you're retired, that's a great option. However,
Yeah.
all of those are virtual now because of the pandemic. They're not being held in person, I don't think. And the final con is that you have to drive through Cajas to get to Guayaquil if you're going to fly out of that airport or you want to go to the coast. And while Cajas is absolutely beautiful, that drive is not fun.
It's fun like the first time you do it, and then at
Because
least
you're like, oh, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. And then after that, you're like, is this ever going to be over? As you're going like this the
I
whole
know.
way. Back and
we
forth.
recommend Dramamine for that trip.
Yeah,
it's a little nerve-wracking.
I always load it up on Dramamine because it's really a recipe for car sickness.
Well, and it gets really foggy too, so we just get nervous. Maybe we're just wimps when it comes to the Cajas because people make that drive all the time, but it definitely...
It's a good core workout for sure because it's a windy 2-lane road. You get stuck behind buses and semi-trucks or horses and donkeys. I mean,
There's no horses or donkeys.
there are too. We've seen those on the road.
Not on
Llamas.
Maybe on the side of the road. But I have a new appreciation for driving to Guayaquil because it's all flat and it seems like it's a lot faster.
Yeah, I've actually dozed off in the back of the cab and on the bus before the pandemic when we took the bus. I can actually sleep, but no sleeping for me through the Cajas.
Now that we did our pros and cons list, I really want to visit Cuenca. I forgot how awesome it is.
Yeah, we still do think it's the best place to start in Ecuador if you're going to move abroad. But there are lots of other cities that are popular with expats in Ecuador. I wrote a really long blog post covering most of those cities. I'll put a link to that in the description below.
I think that's all we have for this video. If you liked it, leave us a thumbs up, please.
Thank you. And if you like another city in Ecuador, let us know about that in the comments and why you prefer that city over Cuenca or any of the other cities.
Yes, we'd love to hear your input.
All right, guys, we will see you all in our next video. Hope you have an unconventional day.
Yep, have a great day.
Ciao.
Ciao. JP, now that we've revisited our pros and cons, I really want to go back and visit Cuenca. Oh, I just sprinkled her head. Now you're making me aware of it.
Okay, you ready? Go. Okay, go. Let's get this done before somebody fires up their loudspeaker.
Okay.